Hilary Cain. I'm Senior Vice President of Policy at the Alliance for Automotive Innovation. We represent auto manufacturers, automotive suppliers, technology companies that are working in the automotive space on government policy primarily, working with and talking to the government about various policies that can help support the innovation that is underway in the auto industry right now.
Today we're talking about safety features in vehicles that would help prevent child death, especially when it comes to kids who are in hot cars, either left intentionally or unintentionally. How long has that been an issue here in the United States?
I think we've seen over decades, since cars were invented, right? People unintentionally leaving children in the backseat of cars, which can be particularly problematic if it's a hot day. The inside of a car can get very hot very fast, and oftentimes that will result in pediatric heat stroke for those children that are left behind. And pediatric heat stroke is very often fatal.
So what kind of technology exists right now to prevent this from happening?
The technologies that are generally on the market today, there's two kinds. There's a door logic technology. So basically, if a back door opens and closes at the beginning of a trip, but then does not open again at the end of the trip, a warning will be given to the driver to check the back seat. We're also seeing weight sensor-based systems in the market today. These are sensors, are technologies that use the sensors in the back seats to detect if maybe there's a person or a child sitting back there. And now what we're starting to see are radar-based technologies that are using in-vehicle radars to sense if there is an object in the vehicle and if that object is moving even slightly, which could be something as small as the chest of a sleeping child rising and falling.
So how is the radar technology different than existing technology to detect children in the backseat?
What's so exciting about this radar-based technology is that it can help distinguish between, say, a suitcase in the back seat and a child in the back seat, which is a capability that maybe isn't always available with the weight-based sensors or the door sensors.
Why is that important?
I think perhaps for driver convenience, right? You want, to the maximum extent possible, you want these systems to only alert drivers when there's a very high probability that there is actually a child in the back seat. And so these technologies are a little more capable of doing that sort of thing.
Do you think the current technology is adequate to trying to prevent these kinds of deaths?
I think all of the technologies that you're seeing in the market today have proven to be very, very effective. And what's very exciting about these radar-based systems is that it is another tool in the toolbox, if you will, for automakers that are looking to provide these technologies to customers. Last year, the Federal Communications Commission enacted a rule that would allow for these technologies to be used in vehicles. That action was finalized in August of last year. And that has unleashed a whole range of new innovation and deployment on these radar-based systems. As of right now, there's nothing more that the federal government needs to do to unleash these technologies.
Are there any other obstacles that are standing in the way of adding these radar technologies to new vehicles that you see?
No, there are no obstacles. No, we will see rear seat reminder systems in all new vehicles starting next year.
So why not commit to what some experts consider the best technology instead of a range of technologies like the rear seat reminder versus the radar technology?
So the automakers want to provide technologies that best meet the needs of their customers. And so there are a range of options for them to do that, and radar technologies would be one of those options.
But I mean, I guess my point is this, is that you still have had children die in cars with rear seat reminders, right?
I don't know that for a fact. No, I don't know.
So there's not one particular technology that the Alliance is endorsing. It's the range of technologies.
So the voluntary commitment that the auto industry did in 2019 provided flexibility to automakers to pick the systems that best met the needs of their customers. So it did not specify any particular technology.
What would you say to a parent who's either worried about this or a parent who has lost a child to this kind of tragedy?
Yeah, so I'm a mom myself and obviously have a tremendous amount of sympathy for any parent or caregiver that experiences any of these types of tragedies. And so we encourage folks to purchase vehicles that have these systems in them. And the good news, as I said, is that by next year, all vehicles will have these rear seat reminder systems in them. In the meantime, we encourage folks to always make sure they check the back seat. When my children were smaller, sometimes I would do things like put my purse in the back seat next to my child in the car seat, so that I would always have to go back there before I would get out of the vehicle, it was sort of a backstop to make sure that I didn't accidentally leave my child in the back seat.